Hello everybody, kind of taking a break from the extended coaster track type, which has the extended things, and why I always use it at this point basically is for everything, like all the changing track angle on the turns, during the turns, that's just so important to me. It's just really smoothed out the ride making, and that's why I've done so many. And before I get into this, I just wanted to just make a small post editing note for Vulcan is that, I didn't mention it, but the requirements of Hypercoaster, I mean, for it to be a hyper is technically for it to be over 200 feet, which, Vulcan actually is. Other things that I've called hypercoasters before that aren't really technically hypers. They're they're basically twisters or whatnot, but with hypercoaster type cars. Because yeah, this game's great. Vulcan's a proper hypercoaster. Anyway, getting to this one, I am showing you guys Spectra today, and that is, well, it's actually my best corkscrew coaster product in terms of excitement, really, ever. Even better than the games. And it's basically like a glorified triple corkscrew. 1, 2, 3. Right there at the end of the ride, rather than, the whole ride. I'm still proud of Bottleneck, dude. Fitting that thing into a 28x4 space. Dude, that's such a great accomplishment. Hey, we also got the excitement to be higher than the intensity on this one. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. A boomerang, of course. When I tried to make a Giga Coaster, I'd also like to note that Spectra's airtime, compared to any of the others, is higher than everything except for, the corkscrew, the Giga Coaster as a corkscrew coaster, because, out of character coasters. I'll link that in the description. And it's a different beast from everything else I have in here. It's kind of crazy. It's a 7 inversion ride, and we're not talking like the going through 4 inversions. So, I added the 0G roll because, how to make a boomerang better. Add another inversion. It becomes 2 inversions. So, let's get into Spectra now. It's kind of absurd. And I actually took a little liberty on coloring the track a bit, and, we have a lot of room for exits and entrances, which I seem to forget about quite a lot when I build rides. So, colored each of the 7 inversions, because I felt like that'd be a good addition. Actually, that's what I wanted to do once I just started thinking about how I was going to color something. I think it pops out quite well. I was definitely trying to think of a more spacey name, and so that's the Spectra is what I came up with. It's plural for spectrum, technically. I feel like there's a bar in the middle of the screen that's sort of glitchy. Maybe there is. That's just me sidetracking. It's actually meant to manage 3 trains with a mid-course brake run. Although it's actually kind of lopsided, and the brake run's really quite early in the roller coaster, all things considered. So you can sort of watch the pieces go. And as you can see, it does get to the top of the lift before it clears the brake run. And then the brake run doesn't clear before the brake run at the bottom clears. So its pacing might not be the greatest. And Roy G. Biv orders, of course, so, we're gonna start out with the wide turn. This is, I pulled this from Ninja Blue Hawk at the Six Flags over Georgia. Sort of what I was thinking I wanted to just straight replicate, because people for some reason, hate that ride, aka it's rough, and it's an old Vekoma, and that's enough reason for people to hate it, apparently. I actually really enjoy the ride, and as people point out, the head choppers on the thing are really quite awesome. And then the double corkscrew at the end of it's always good too. But, the first element, the, loop corkscrew loop, I forget what that's supposed to be called. It's not called Batwing. It's like the Batwing, but it just continues, and there's only like one of these in the world or something like that. The one on Ninja Blue Hawk is more of a diving loop and would go red loop, and then the orange loop would be over where the yellow loop kind of is. It's more of a through loop. Alternatively, I can go link you guys, or nah. I don't want to link to another channel because it might bias on what view of it's good, and I can't control when other people's content suddenly disappears from the internet. So, just look up Ninja or Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia. It's the same tracking. And, you know, it's a fun ride. Anyway, first element, you know, we're all the way through that at this point. It's going to jump into a curve and a bit of airtime that goes to that first section for turning back around and doing the proper loop of straight through or around the lift chain. Which you then go under the station around to turn it up to the brake run. Out of the brake run, we do another diving loop that sort of is a back-to-back with the first loop of the ride. And after that, we once again go over the lift chain, make a U-turn, go under the lift chain, and then drop down. And then dive into a corner that cuts through one of the last corkscrews up and around. And then diving back around through the second of the 3 corkscrews. Turning, and then this is the element that I don't particularly enjoy about this ride, is the turn that had to be flat and couldn't be tilted. Although, if it were able to be tilted, go directly to that first of 3 corkscrews, that'd be really cool. 3 corkscrews, you turn onto the final brake run to end the ride. Rough turn up there, yeah. So, enough jabber. You've probably also watched Blue Hawk at this point if you're really trying to understand what I've got going on here. So, you know, you've burned a lot of time at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys aboard Spectra. Oh yeah, don't discount, this thing will be really rough when it's made in real life, because that's what these types of rides are supposed to be. These tubular, wider, I don't know, the center of the track, like, the center bar under the rail. It's weird. Enough jabbering. I'm also gonna cut the train so that there isn't any odd delays when you're riding. Hope y'all enjoy. Spectra. Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm actually kind of excited by this one. I mean, I don't think I will be excited as I am by Bottleneck. Go watch that video. I will link this one. I really quite like this design, dude. I'm proud of it. But more importantly, this video right now is Spectra. Yeah, breaking 7 excitement on a corkscrew. Never done that one before. And I didn't actually go over the other stats, but you know, 50 miles an hour. Average is about 25, even with the brake run. 1 minute and 30-second ride, roughly. You know, minute and a half. You know, rounding it up because, you know, yuck, ugly number. It's got a pretty good ride length. does pull about 4 Gs. You know, it's got G forces. 19 seconds of airtime, 14 drops, over a 100-foot drop, assumingly the first one, and 7 total inversions. So, hope y'all enjoyed Spectra today, and I will see you all with, yeah, another roller coaster. I already know that because it's already built. See y'all at Sorcerer.